Welcome to selfdiscoveryradio.com, where the orchard of wisdom is just ready for picking. We celebrate your why, the journey that you've taken that inspires someone else. We support your services, we support your story. Come and be our guest, become a host, be an author with us. Come and see what we've got. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sara's View of Life. I am your host, Sara Troy. Very often I just decide to do impromptu shows. Not quite sure what I'm going to talk about, so just let it all flow out and see. But perhaps I'm going to talk about today tradition. Traditionally, we have followed a path in life that was laid out before us by those that went before us. Those traditions have become the norm, the doctrine, the only way to travel. And each generation comes along and rebels against that tradition and wishes to lay out its own path. I like some traditional ideas, especially the ones that are based in philosophy and ethics, especially the ones that consider other people, gratitude, an expectation of life, of your contribution, a value of family, of friends, a value of planet, of community. I like those kind of traditions. And those are the ones that have to come from the core, the very heart and soul and spirit of you. But the traditions I'm talking about today are ones that are maybe a traditional religion that you have followed. Don't question it, just follow. Maybe it's the political arena. Maybe it's the business one, school, or just other traditions. Well, it has always been that way, so why shouldn't it continue? Well, it doesn't have to if it does not serve us and our community anymore. Sometimes you have to look at what has been and reassess it. Is it still meant to be? Does it still serve society or ourselves in the way that it should? Does it just need to be tweaked, readjusted, or does it need to be scrapped altogether? These are things that we need to look at. You see, we're looking at a mess in the world today, and that has come about a great deal by expectation that became tradition, became the doctrine, and now in that norm, we are living a very unnormal life. So how do we step into our norm? And is there a norm? Well, I think there's codes of conduct, codes of the way we live our life. Like Don Roos wants, the 4 agreements: speak your word with integrity. Do not assume, ask. Do your very best based on your own measurement, not somebody else's. And don't take things personally, because sometimes it's somebody else's issue being imposed upon you. 4 simple codes that are very, very valid and very good at guiding us forward in life. I think when we look at the codes of life, those ethics, do unto others as you hope others will do unto you. Like an eye for an eye only makes us all blind, right? But if you treat people with respect, with dignity, with value, in invitation, in collaboration, then that is what you're sending out as an invitation of how to treat you. If you're going to treat people all with the pitchfork, or with the same hate banner, the same discontent, maybe the discontent that's in your life that you're imposing upon everyone else, that's the way you're going to get treated too. So sometimes we have to look at what has been and decide, I can take the roots of the philosophy of what this is and I can adapt and recreate it. Or sometimes you just have to look at it and go, where did we go wrong? We need to scrap the whole program. Growing up, in my day, we were taught to respect. You respect your elders, you respect your teachers, you respect one another. It wasn't about the one-upmanship. That seemed to come later. It was about the team camaraderie. We always wanted to stand out, which also made us push ourselves to excel, to strive better, to become that voice above the voices. But it still was about the us, not just the I. We didn't treat our elders with disrespect. We didn't swear at them. We didn't push them. We didn't bully them. Now, that doesn't mean to say that all elders were wise or kind, but you still opened the door for them and you still showed respect. It's the same with our parents. You wouldn't dream of swearing or screaming at your parent. You got a clipper if you did. There were boundaries. But again, a parent has to step up into that role as well. A parent has to decide that if you want a child to respect you, then you yourself must A, respect yourself, but also be respectful of that child's opinions. It's not here to follow your doctrine, your agenda, or maybe your unfulfilled desires. That child in your custody, as you are a custodian of that child, not an owner, is here for you to love, nurture, guide, and feed as much information as possible so that it can walk forward in life in that integrity, in that honesty, in that self-love, with those beautiful tools to discover what their lives are about and what their contribution is. That's what parenting is. It is to prepare them to let them go and to have them go out into the world representing themselves in a way that is loving, caring, communicative, and in respect. So I kind of think that the new way of doing things, and this is not necessarily great, because what we're doing is handing everybody the cell phone or the computer and using that as a babysitter, using it as a way of communicating. And although it has its uses, I have one, it's an excellent way of setting up appointments, communicating with people, convenience. But it is a convenient tool. It is not a replacement for interaction with your child, communication with your child, or a communication device that they have with each other that replaces the face-to-face time. It is so sad when you see pictures of people in the most beautiful areas, instead of soaking in their surroundings, the history, the beauty, the architecture, the this or the that, they're busy on their cell phones. And this is one of those things that is a new thing, because cell phones at this level, walking around with a little mini computer in your hand, is a new thing. But we have to go back to our core, go back to those ethics, and decide, is this a replacement for interaction face to face? Is this a replacement from communication even with self, a replacement for nature, a replacement for learning by participating in life? No, it isn't. It is a convenience, it's a tool. It's the same approach to money. Now, money is a wonderful thing. It does make the world go round, but love makes it go round better. Love of money stops the world from going around, because it stops it right at your bank account, which then does not seed water or generate e-commerce or opportunities for other people. So I think we also have to have a very good look at money and what it means. And money is something that we need to look at as a tool, as a transaction, as an ability to further one's vision, but it is not a definition of you. It is not the importance of you. It is not you. I don't care how rich you are. How enriched are you in your heart, soul, and in your very being? How much abundance are you sharing with other people? How much are you contributing, seeding those opportunities for others? See, your money is your responsibility. It's a responsibility in so many ways. Did you get it ethically? Are you using it wisely? Are you using it to generate opportunities for others? Are you allowing it to expand in a way that helps your community? Or are you just storing it and hoarding it and saying, look at me, bigger, better, faster car, faster house, faster this, faster that, I can afford this, I can afford that, now I can buy people because I have money. No, you can't. Yes, I know there are some people for sale, and that's only because they haven't stepped into their own self-worth yet. But that doesn't mean you should buy them. People should never be measured up by the dollar. Never. People are your biggest commodity. You wouldn't have the phones, you wouldn't have the money if it wasn't for the people who generated it by work, by innovation, by tenacity, by creation. All that you have in the material world has come from somebody's innovation, from somebody's dream, from somebody's vision or passion or creativity. Everything that we have in the world. And if we do not invest in those creators, those innovators, if we do not back them, respect them, value them, then they will dry up. And then what will you have? Now, we do have a certain group in society that would like us to all go back 60, 70 years. Women barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, goddesses in the bedroom, and everywhere else silent. Or we look at how far we've come, and we do not let those archaic, insecure little boys or girls take us back to the dark ages. You see, advancement is absolutely wonderful. All these wonderful tools we have today, internet, Zoom, being able to do this through the computer, all these wonderful innovations creates an opportunity for us to do more, to help one another, to connect, to reach out. It is very, very important that we seize this opportunity. It's very, very important that we honor this opportunity. It's very, very important that we honor the responsibility of what these tools are. Because in the wrong hands or improperly used, they can create pain, suffering, and death. The internet is the most brilliant way of discovering knowledge, of connecting with people, of learning, interaction. But it's also a very dark, deadly, sick place filled with people that are hiding, haven't got the guts to even commit their crimes face to face or out there in the world. It's all behind here like a little coward that they are. So there are certain traditions that we need to uphold. Those traditions are ones that we need to honor. Those traditions are the ones where it is about the value of life, the value of home, the value of land, the way we treat our planet, the way we treat each other, respect, dignity, ethics. Those are really good cause. If you step into self-love, you love who you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who it's benefiting, then in that self-love, you cannot embrace hate, you cannot embrace loathing. It doesn't mean you don't dislike or that you condone those things. It just is that you choose to water the seeds of the possibilities rather than the negativities. When we have those core ethics, which is treat each other with love and respect, step into kindness and caring above all. If we forget about our skin color, our vessel, our religion, our sex, or even our economics, and look at the character, look at the core person, you may disagree with them on certain points of view. Or maybe if you open up to that point of view and see it from their point of view, it will broaden your perspective. The point is, inside, out, we all bleed the same way. We all have the hearts and the lungs and the everything else. We're all looking to count in this world. We're all looking to have a home, a security, knowing that job is there, knowing we can support our families, knowing that we can create, knowing that we're supported by government, by each other, by community. Those things are all very, very important. And it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, pink, yellow, oh, polka dot. Inside, we're all the same, looking for the same things. How about we embrace the inside out and not the outside in? Get over yourself, folks. Who cares what color you are? It's who you are, why you are, and what you're doing that counts. So, traditions that have us stepping into the ethics of life, into understanding where the value is, understanding appreciation, understanding gratitude, respect of one another, respect of your elders, respect of those that have gone before you because they paved your way and they have the wisdom and the knowledge. Don't dismiss them. Just because you've got an electronic in your hand, where do you think it came from? You weren't born doing it. People before you did. So if we spend the time to get to know one another, young to old, and understand the elderly, as you would like to put it, have paved the way, have many of them suffered and literally fought the way for your freedom, struggled to make the changes in society, worked hard to bring you some innovations and creativities that you take for granted today. If we sit down and we listen and we talk and we learn from them, these are wonderful, valuable tools and knowledge, wisdom that we can take into our everyday life. But it's up to us if we're going to do that or not, because it's up to us how we value and respect others, no matter their age. And just because you're older doesn't mean you can't be young at heart. You might be limited a little bit by what you can do physically or what you want to do because you tire more or you're just not that energetic anymore. But there's still things you can do and that you can participate in, that you can help, that you can love and nurture and enjoy, because life is about enjoyment. As I said, you've got Christmas, you've got Easter, you've got the Sunday church, you've got certain traditions that have been around forever. And that's great. But let's look at those traditions and really analyze. Are they still based on the same message, or have we misconstrued it? Have we commercialized it? Have we forgotten its meaning? And should we be looking at those traditions and changing them, embracing them, tweaking them, or deleting them? So I would say take with you the morals, the ethics, the respect, the value of life, the value and the love of self, and carry those with you wherever you go, and let that be your tradition. But allow your wings to spread. Allow yourself to fly, to go with the flow of life. Step into your own beautiful contribution and share, share, share. For it is that builds that community, that global community of purpose, of meaning, of love, of harmony, of peace. Because that comes from us, not an external thing. It's an internal thing. So what are the traditions that you just cannot go without? And can you actually articulate a reason why? Not because you've always done it, because it's always been done. Why do you still do these traditions in a way that it still means something to you? I'm not talking about Christmas, so it's all about the joy of Christmas. I'm talking about traditions that you're doing in your family. We still see, like we're seeing right now, France and England, they have been at battle and war with each other for centuries, centuries and centuries. Now with this Brexit thing, it's a reason for the war to continue on. Really? Don't you think that's one tradition you need to let go? Why are we not paying attention into the now? Because if we pay attention to the now, we know how to see the possibilities of tomorrow. So, is your tradition serving you? Is it something that's healthy for you? Is it healthy for your community? Is it still allowing you to participate in a way that is beneficial? And if you've got no to any of those, have a relook. Can it be tweaked? Can it be reconstructed? Or should it be deleted? Don't be afraid to ask yourself these questions. Don't beat yourself up on, oh, why did I not know this? You didn't know it because you didn't ask yourself the question. And sometimes the answer comes first, that poses the question. Just be willing to grow and to learn and to listen in and out. And you'll see things that are revealed. And that revelation is what will guide you forward. So please have a damn good look at your life and your traditions and say, are they really serving me, my community, my purpose? Or is it time for them to go? Until next time, folks. Bye for now. For more wonderful shows like this, please go to selfdiscoveryradio.com, podcasts, and see our lineup. And if you wish to support us, we have a funded button. Please stay tuned for our next show.